Another beautiful day in the Sydney Harbour. Today is the last day of winter. It's the 31st of August. Still a little bit cold in the morning, it's early in the morning. Today we're gonna go for a little walk from the Circular Quay all the way to Pyrmont. I'm gonna show you one of the best places to go for a swim in the Sydney Harbour. So this is another great walk to do if you are staying in one of the hotels in the Circular Quay. We're gonna go underneath the Harbour Bridge. We're gonna go along the Walsh Bay towards the Barangaroo Reserve. This is a new parkland which has been converted from the post-industrial area into the parkland and has been opened in 2015. So today is also the day of the Sydney Marathon. There's a big marathon happening in Sydney which actually goes along the way where we're gonna walk. So I'm gonna show you a few shots from the marathon. It's a pretty big event, thousands of people running through the city. So it's about 10 o'clock at the moment. Looks like the Sydney Marathon is slowly coming to an end. It's only some people walking through. The finish line over there next to the Opera House. It's a pretty cool part of this walk is that you can actually walk underneath the Harbour Bridge. This one also you can sort of finish in the Barangaroo Wharf. You don't have to go all the way to Pyrmont. You can jump on a ferry over there and you can come back to the Circular Quay. The walk from Barangaroo Wharf to Pyrmont is a bit long, so we are now walking through the Walsh Bay, which is a very popular area for sort of like art events. So there's lots of artists converging here. There's lots of sort of like waterfront restaurants and cafes in here, so you can definitely have a snack or have a coffee here. So I'm just gonna walk on one of the piers. I'm gonna show you some of the views. Harbour Bridge right behind us. Here's a residential area in the Walsh Bay. As you can see, if you want to live here, you don't need a car. Your mode of transport will be most likely boat. And that's pretty much the end of the Walsh Bay. We're coming into the Barangaroo Reserve at the moment. So as you can see, it's definitely worth to check it out. So we are now walking through the Barangaroo Reserve. So the first stop here is the Marrinawi Cove. So this is a great place for a swim. Opened in 2023, so a couple years ago. So we're not able to swim in the Sydney Harbour for the last 50 years, but now you can. And here's the Marrinawi Cove. There's no one swimming here. It's winter time at the moment, so I think it needs to get a little bit warmer. Get some steps, you can get inside the water. So here it is, Marrinawi Cove. So there has been a lot of concern if you'll be able to actually swim here. As you know, like the water in the Sydney Harbour wouldn't be the cleanest, but apparently it's pretty safe to swim and people swim in here. So if you want to come here for a swim, you're staying in the Circular Quay. This is the closest place. So the Barangaroo Reserve, it's quite a large area, so basically you've got multiple ways that you can walk through this park. You can go close to the water. I'm gonna show you the view from the top of from the highest point in the reserve. This walk has been a part of the Sydney Vivid for the last 15 years since the festival started. So I walked this path many times, but most of the times when I walked it was during the night. If you're interested to see how this area looks at nighttime, I have a video from the Sydney Vivid 2025, so you can have a look at that. So this entire area in the past served as an important hunting and fishing ground for the Aboriginal people, known as the Gadigal people. But this area was heavily industrialized in the 20th century before being transformed into the public reserve, which you see right now, the public parklands. And it was opened to the public in 2015. So we are at the end of the Stargazer lawn. We're coming into the Nawi Cove right now. Right behind us we got the Crown Sydney, constructed from 2016 and has been opened in 2020. So it's a fairly new building, fairly new addition to the Sydney skyline. It's a bit of a controversial one. Some people like it, some people really don't like it. So at the moment there's a casino there, there's some residential apartments, and there's a hotel in there, so it's got a mixed use. We're descending down from the Stargazer lawn. This is the Vulgul Walk, and we're coming into the Nawi Cove at the moment. So I'm going to show you the cove. It's a beautiful cove, has been constructed from the sandstone, which has been sourced just from this area here. So here's a look of the Nawi Cove. As you can see, there's hundreds and hundreds of massive sandstone steps have been placed to construct this cove, to give it a bit of a new look. So this walk would be great to do it on a bike. Maybe you can go for a jog as well. There's lots of joggers. It's popular for joggers, the same as the Sydney Foreshore. But this one will be less busy and it's more spacious. So it's definitely better for running, better for cycling than the one through the botanical garden. It's definitely more touristy over there. So we are now coming onto the Pyrmont. This is a Crown Towers. This is the tallest building in Sydney at 271 meters. I just want to see who is taller. I'm a little bit taller than Crown Towers, as you can see. So here's a final look at the Crown Towers, and this is actually where you can finish this walk. Here's a Barangaroo wharf, so you can jump on a ferry here. But I'm going to take you all the way to the Pyrmont. We're going to walk across the Pyrmont Bridge to the other side of the Darling Harbour. I'm going to show you some of the new buildings. It's a nice and easy walk. This one, it's about 5 kilometers all the way to Pyrmont from the Circular Quay. So there are lots of cafes, lots of restaurants, so you can finish the walk with a snack or a drink here. Over there was my favorite ice cream place. So we're coming onto the Darling Harbour. Right behind us, you can see there's a wildlife. There's a sea life and wildlife and a Madame Tussauds. And on the other side we have National Maritime Museum. So to get there you need to cross the Pyrmont Bridge, which we're gonna do right now. So we are now walking across the Pyrmont Bridge. So this is historic bridge. It's been constructed more than 100 years ago. So this used to be the IMAX. Now it's a W Hotel. There's a convention center right here. And this used to be the shopping center. Now they're converting it to the harbourside residences. So it's a large shopping center just a couple of years ago. Right now everything's getting transformed into the residential area. But you still have lots of restaurants on the other side of the bay. So we're now coming towards the end of the walk, which is the end of the Pyrmont Bay. Right behind us you can see the Pyrmont Bridge. So this is the area I'm very familiar with. I used to live here for the almost 2 years during my student years. So I'm very familiar with this area. I can even tell you there used to be a Starbucks here, a Subway, and all the restaurants. I can tell you everything that used to be here. Completely new area right now. The bay is a little bit smaller than it used to be, but it's still a very nice area. There's a huge playground in the back for the kids, so you can bring your kids in here. So from here you can see the entire skyline. Well, I think that will conclude this part of the video. I'm gonna get some lunch right now. I'm gonna go to the Chinatown.